I hope you all are safe at home. Please follow the SMS means not short message service, but it is a social distance, mask and sanitizer or soap. Please follow these important things at home and wherever you go, and please be cautious and hygiene. Now, in the previous class we have discussed about the location of India, where our India is locating at 82 degrees 32 point towards the east direction, and it is going across the Allahabad at Uttar Pradesh. And what is the important latitude going across the India? That is the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is above the equator or below the equator? It is above the equator. So above the equator is moving towards the north. So our India comes under the northern hemisphere. Already I told it is a very important 1 mark question. In which hemisphere our India lies? That is the northern hemisphere. And in which year International Meridian has adopted? That is in the year of 1884. Why? Because here the 0 degree longitude, is going across the London, and these all imaginary lines, the latitudes and the longitudes are the imaginary lines to know the exact place and about its features. So here we consider as with the help of the latitudes and the longitudes. Now coming to the today's class, we are going to read about the geological background of our country and the major relief features of our country. Now I request everyone to please tick or underline the important hard words whichever are there in your textbook. And please keep reading textbook. Now, the geological background. Already in our 9th class we have learned that in the first lesson, the whole universe, the whole earth is dividing with the help of the small sea, that is the Tethys. The Tethys Sea is dividing the northern and southern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere is known as the Gondwana land, right? What all the continents are there in the northern hemisphere? North America, Europe, Asia. These are the 3 important continents which covers under the northern hemisphere. And the continents which covers under the southern hemisphere is South America, Australia, Antarctica and Africa. These are the 4 important continents where Africa comes under the northern hemisphere. Africa comes under the eastern hemisphere as well as the western hemisphere. The lands which will come under the southern hemisphere or the continents is known as the Angara land. Angara land is also known as the Laurentia. Already we have discussed about the Gondwana land and the Angara land in our 9th class. Now the landmass moves towards the northeast is peninsular Indian plain, collided into the parts with the Eurasian plate. Already in our 9th class we have discussed that. Just here we have the 3 layers. Inside the internal structure of the earth we are having the 3 important layers, that is the crust, mantle, core. Now the first layer is made with the rocks, and they are very attached to each other whenever they are moving. As in between the rocks, here we have the liquid form, all the different sand particles, water, all different types of chemicals will be inside the or in between the rocks. And whenever there is a if the groundwater table or the liquid capacity is increasing, the rock starts moving from place to place. When they are moving, they will collide with each other. Due to the force of the colliding or due to the force of movement, these rocks may move from one place to another place. At that time, here we can say the plates are nothing but the 7 plates. The Eurasian plate, African plate, all the continents will come under different place. These plates are moving from place to place. And here in our world map also we can observe that here the North America and the South America is separating with the help of the Atlantic Ocean from Europe, Africa and Australia. And here we can say the Africa is separating from the Europe with the help of the Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea is also known as the World Middle Sea. Why? Because Mediterranean Sea is going across the equator. And here the Europe and Asia is a continuous landmass. Here from here to here there is no sea or no river which is dividing both the continents. From here to here we have the continuous landmass. Now here due to this effect, as we are moving away from the Atlantic Ocean, Europe and Asia is moving towards the northeast direction here. Now, the Gondwana land is dividing due to the force, due to the heavy movement. The Gondwana land is moving towards the northeast direction. Here you can see that Europe and Asia is moving towards the east direction. And here India will lies under the Indian Peninsular Plate or the Peninsular India Plate, and the Europe will come under the Eurasian Plate. Now here all the continents have their own place, and still we can observe that we people are keep on moving. But depending upon the division of the two hemispheres with the Tethys Sea. The northern hemisphere is known as the Gondwana land, and the southern hemisphere is known as the Angara land. Angara land is also known as the Laurentia. And in another hemisphere we have the North America, Europe, Australia, and in the southern hemisphere we have the South America, Australia, Antarctica, Africa. In the northern hemisphere we have the North America, Europe and Asia. Due to the movement of the tectonic plates, here we can see the Europe and Asia is moving towards the northeast, and here we can consider that Europe will come under the Eurasian plate, and our country India will come under the Asian continent. So it is a peninsular Indian plate. I hope you all got this point about the geological pattern. It will come under the 2 marks question, very important question. But already in our introduction we have discussed about what is the meaning of relief features. The relief features already which are made by the nature, right? So here we have the important relief features in our country, and wherever we go whenever we are going from one place to another place. Now when we are going through the bus, we can see the hills will be there, the small water bodies will be there. So here we have the different relief features in our country, and the important relief features here in our India map we can see that now this is the east. This is east. This is west. This is north, and this is south. Now towards the east direction here we have the Bay of Bengal. And in the west direction here we have the Arabian Sea. Now Here already in the previous class we have learned that the hottest region or the desert region is lying towards the west direction. Here we have the Thar desert. Now the desert is a one relief feature for us. Here, where we have the cold mountains. The cold mountains always comes towards the north as it is very near to the north direction or towards the polar region. The north direction we have the Himalayas. In the north we have the Himalayas, and in the east direction here we have the very thick forest, and as we have throughout the whole year there is a rainfall in one particular state, that is Meghalaya. And here in the east direction we can see the complete greenery part. Here we can see the forest area. Right? The middle part, the central part of our India will come under the Deccan Plateau region. So it is a Deccan Plateau, it is a plateau region. It is a plateau region, and the water bodies towards the east and the west direction. Here we have the land which is joining both the water body, and the land is known as the coastal area. This is a coastal area, coastal land. So next one is a piece of land which is covered with all the sides of water. Suppose this is a small piece of land and here we have the water. So here a piece of land covered all the four sides water is known as island. Is known as the island. And due to the continuous flow of the water is known as the, where suppose a land is there where throughout the whole year or it will be completely wet, is known as a perennial river. And because of the mountains and because of the forest, here we can see the plains, the plain area where we can able to utilize that plain for growing the good crop. So that is the Indo-Gangetic plains. Indo-Gangetic plains or plains. Why we call as the Indo-Gangetic plains? The river Indus will join from here and going across the Jammu Kashmir and comes like this. So here Indus river and the Ganga river are helpful for the formation of the plains. So we are calling as the Indo-Gangetic plains. These are the 7 important relief features, but in our textbook here we have only the 6 important relief features. The first one is Himalayas, second one is Indo-Gangetic plain, third one is Peninsular Plateau or the Deccan Plateau, and next one is the coastal land, Thar desert and islands. About the 6 important relief features we are going to discuss. 2-mark question. The first important relief feature of our India is we are going to discuss about the Himalayas. The extension of the Himalayas, we already know that the India, we are having the 4 directions, and already we know that the Himalayas lies towards the north direction. So here from here to here, better from with whatever direction you are taking, we have to consider always the east and the west. Maybe the Himalayas are moving or starting from the north, but the right side will be considered as the east and west side, and the left side will be considered as the west. Now from the west to east, here the Himalayas are extending from the 2,400 kilometers length. The length of the Himalayas is 2,400 kilometers, moving towards the east direction from the north. That will be considered as the west. And the width means the breadth of the Himalayas is about 500 kilometers in the west. Means in this direction we can say the width of the Himalayas is 500 kilometers, and moving towards east direction as it is moving towards in the downward area. So here we can consider, here we can take it as a width, and here it is 200 kilometers. When they are coming from the high level, from the high elevated land, it is very broad, and when they are moving towards the downwards area, the width of the particular thing will be reduced. So here on the top we have the 500 kilometers. When we are moving towards the downward direction, it is 200. So it is reducing. From here there is a great difference. Here we can take as a 300. Now the Himalayas are dividing again into the three ranges. They are the three parallel ranges. Parallel lines already know. When one particular line is opposite to the next line is a parallel line. Now the first parallel line is the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. The Greater Himalayas is also known as a Himadri. The elevated length of the Greater Himalayas is 6,100 meters. So from here to here, it is the first one. It is a Greater Himalayas or Himadri. It is the first parallel range of the Himalayas. The second one is the Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. Just the Himadri. This Himachal is parallel to Himadri. So the length of the Himachal. The length of the Lesser Himalayas is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. And the third one is Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. Now the length of this Shivaliks is 900 to 1100 meters. The third parallel line is Shivaliks. Now as this is the first parallel range towards the Himalayas, here this area is completely covered with the snow, and due to the changes in the temperature, we can see the snow starts melting and there will be a continuous flow. And with the help of that flow or the glacier, what is a glacier here? The change of snow into the water or ice into the water is a glacier. Here we can see there is a continuous flow of the water. The continuous flow of the water or the land throughout the whole year which is wet is known as a perennial river. Perennial rivers. And here we have the very good hill stations where we can able to visit. Now the Lesser Himalayas is a Himachal, where we can see the very good plain areas. Plain means the land which is good for the cultivation. And here we have the Lesser Himalayas, that is Shivaliks. And here we can see the formation of the different valleys. Now the area which comes under the valleys which forms between the Himachal and the Shivalik is known as Dun. The valleys between Himachal and the Shivaliks is known as the Dun. Example, the Patidun or the. Now, I hope you have understood about the Himalayas and its really features and how they are divided into the three important parts. This is very important question. And how India is depending upon the Himalayan mountains, how the economic development of our country is depending upon the Himalayas. This is a 4-mark important question beta, and for the 4 marks there will be the options for you in your exam. Please copy it on the homework. How Himalayas are helpful for our country economy. Or you can write helpful for our agricultural sector also you can write. Because here in the Himalayas there is a continuous flow of the water, and the flow of the water will help for the formation of the plains. In the plain areas only we can able to grow the vegetation or the agricultural crops. So here how Himalayas is helpful for our agriculture sector. Here you can answer this question in your own words also. But make sure that you have to cover more than 5 to 8 points. Thank you.